Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one other topic, that is city creation. In this basically we are discussing one topic, that is this land basically is divided, right? Basically, and this is 100% going to divide. That is 100% sure. So each and every death are connected with this land basically, which is going to divide and which is not in the map basically. That is the main thing. So one of the person basically, like France basically, we will take one example. See, one scenario basically we will take, as in that basically one of the France group and America group basically they watched this video basically. So they will be asking one question basically. Are you sure basically? Because they are very powerful also basically, and Russia group also basically are very powerful. So here basically we will take one example. France is there, then Russia is there, then basically the USA is there, America is there, then basically the India, assume that was because India is also very powerful nowadays. Then basically Pakistan is there. Assume that basically Pakistan is also very dangerous thing basically. Then basically the after Pakistan the UAE is there. UAE is there. Like this basically the discussion basically was ongoing. In this basically we will take one more country that basically lots of people says that ये तो क्या है इतनी छोटी सी country है, that is Somalia. So like this basically the countries are there. They basically started doing the discussion basically. That land basically which is divided basically, how basically we can track that basically. Because they are controlling the entire world basically. That is 100% sure. And they are only basically doing the disaster. Whatever things basically big earthquake basically which is happening there, that is also basically connected with that group only basically. That is the communication channel basically you can say. Because without communication basically you can, one of the person told that he is doing some task basically, but he basically is communicated with someone na basically, then only basically is doing the task na basically. So that, so one of the person told that this group basically are doing some communication with the certain level of group basically. So that's why only basically they are doing the stuff, their task basically is happening. So this was the one of the thing basically. So in this basically, this country basically started doing the discussion basically. Yeah, basically this topic is very dangerous basically. But they told that basically we also know something basically, that somebody is handling basically some stuff basically, but still basically we are not able to track basically who is that person basically. So they basically started doing the communication with each other. Each country basically given some certain level of ideas. France basically given one idea. He told that basically, yeah, if we will do one big earthquake basically in the world basically, and in world basically we will take each and every continental basically, that is the Asia, America, Europe, South Africa, and we will give one big earthquake basically. Each and every country gives the ideas, huh? Basically see basically how they gives the idea to track the person, to track that 3 lakh people basically who are basically going to separate when the on the last day of world, on the last second of the world basically, that also you can say. Because within just second basically, that also not second basically, within just few 10 millisecond basically, 10 or 20 30 basically millisecond within this between basically, not 1 second also basically, within that millisecond the world will get end basically. Because there are lots of equipment basically, you can't believe it basically, from the in the satellite basically, they the 400 900 crore people are there na basically, 900 crore people will just end within just 10 second basically. 900 crore population, they will become just powder basically just within 10 seconds. That type of equipment basically the satellite group have basically. So that is basically we have already discussed. So here basically we are discussing the France group basically. So France group basically told that we will give one big earthquake basically in earth planet basically, that is the 4 continental basically, we just now basically you discussed Sunil basically. That is continental is basically what, this is basically Asia, American, European and African basically. So here basically we will give one big earthquake, and due to that big earthquake basically, each and every land basically data is going to display in our France software basically. So that is France group is telling basically they have the software basically. France basically country France is there basically. That France country basically you can see in the map basically. So they told that basically we will give like this basically. So each and every land data basically we are going to track basically. From that basically which land basically is missing basically, and we have the total number of land also basically data with us basically. So from that basically we will track that basically which land basically data is missing basically. So France told that basically whenever the earthquake, big earthquake will happen in this basically the all continental will get shake basically. In this basically the that land will get tracked into picture basically which is not displayed in the France database basically. So they told that one of the all people basically told that yes basically you are basically correct basically. Then basically one of the person basically the UAE person asked the question basically, you have the land of entire world basically. Then he told that yes basically we know the what is the length of the world, we know the what is the width of the world, what is the height of the world, each and everything basically we know basically. So from that basically we know the each and every land area, each and every land energy basically, and each and every matrix basically which is defined for Bangalore basically example I have given 100,000 buildings basically is controlled by the Microsoft. How they are controlling that is the matrix basically. So that matrix also basically we have. From that basically we can track the data basically. Then he told that that basically very risky basically. Then he told that yes risk is there basically, but this thing basically Sunil basically discussed that we also basically don't know basically. He told that basically like that. So France told that basically this basically you have to do basically. One of the whole country basically started telling that basically yes basically we have to do this basically. Then like this France told that basically we will do this basically, but for that basically we have to do certain level of plans basically. So that basically we will do and then basically we will get nothing basically. Then basically it should not basically happens basically. So they basically started doing the plan basically. So which kind of each and every country basically does the plan basically how they do that basically we are discussing. So France group told that basically for that basically we need each and every data, that basically how the each and every matter. For example in this world basically there are more than 3 lakh cities basically. Just taking as an example, in really basically there are 30 40 lakh basically. We will take basically that 40 lakh basically. 40 lakh cities basically are there in this world basically. In America basically it's not called city, something called as basically. So like this basically the data basically are with us basically that we need to check basically, and we will just verify each and everything basically whether it is correct or not basically. Then basically we need to collect each and every equipments basically in the cities basically which is not going to affect due to that earthquake basically. If it's going to affect basically what up to what level things basically is going to affect. So each and every plans basically they started doing discussion basically. They told that basically we have never done this type of plan basically in the entire life basically, but this thing basically which Sunil R. Nair basically told that might be correct also basically, because we basically were never able to track basically from where we are getting the instruction basically. We tried a lot basically, but we whenever basically we are trying basically we our people basically never gets us basically. That means they never came, they basically never came back from that mission only basically, because they just disappears from the world basically. So that's why basically Sunil R. Nair basically might be correct also. For that basically they told that basically we are trying to find basically from where basically we are doing getting the instruction, but we are basically not able to track it basically. So for that basically this land basically this group basically started doing the investigation basically. France basically started doing the investigation. Then basically they told that basically we need to prepare one plan basically, and that plan basically is not supposed to be leaked also basically, because that means basically they will be doing some plan basically in that type of computer basically which is not connected with the public power supply basically. Public power supply, or basically you can say public internet basically. That should be some private internet basically, which basically there are many cities basically which we have created. We will integrate that city into the internet basically, and that basically data that city basically contains each and every data of the internet basically whatever is required. So that city we are going to convert into the internet. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.